can't open it because we're not quorate.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm going to tell you about.
Well, what I was going to ask was, excuse me, something like that. What I was going to ask was, could you issue some of, as you're standing for the borough, could you issue some of your leaflets around? So
I haven't got any leaflets at all.
you delivered them all?
I haven't got any.
You've delivered them all, have you?
Pardon?
Have you delivered them all?
No, I haven't got any.
You've not done any?
I've never done any, no.
Oh, right. Well, maybe then you could tell us, you know, you could tell us what your manifesto is.
Well, it's not really the time and place, is it?
Well, it is. If we're not having a meeting, it's exactly the time, I would say.
Well, all I can say is that, I'm independent and I'm the only one that actually lives in Anston.
We might
Well, that's
vote
not
for
your
you, John.
manifesto, is it? What's your manifesto? What are you going to do for us?
That doesn't make any difference because it's Anston and Woodsells.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that lives in Anston. I don't.
Yeah, so you've not, you stand into the borough, but you've not done any leaflets.
No.
And you can't tell us what your manifesto is.
Well, it's not like most politicians who tell you fairy stories. No.
You couldn't.
Well, you're not telling us any story, fairy or otherwise.
Well, one thing that I will set my mind to is making sure that all the people that who've wrongly acted, in the case of the children, will be chased.
Well, I think other agencies are saying to that.
Well, maybe so, but I'd rather.
But that is just part of your manifesto. So what is your total manifesto, John?
No, sorry, that's not the time to do it now because it's 7
That's
o'clock.
not then.
Well, I've told you that.
Oh, no leaflets and no manifesto?
No, I've just put my name down.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate, folks, we're not quorum. We've got to have 5 members, so we haven't got 5. So we'll not declare the meeting null and void. We'll give it a few minutes in case anybody else comes, if that's all right by you.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody comes.
We've got half an hour till next
We've got half an hour till next meeting, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you said if anybody else turns up, they can't have it, which I do.
Well, as long as that, next 10 minutes there. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, unless you want to.
Labour Party have stopped business of this parish being conducted.
I just time to give us your manifesto, John.
Yeah, sure it is.
You've been out campaigning?
Took me hours to get the first one.
I mean, that's like to do it too, but not I'm from Anston, and I think rather than having a Labour Party, I'm perhaps using it for work. A Labour Party man from work. Stuart, a Labour Party man from work.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So that's it. Really, the
I work for
right
it.
thing.
So it's gone
Right, the quorum.
Yes.
Yes. So I declare the meeting open. Item number 1 to receive apologies. We've only actually received three. We've only received 3 apologies. St. Bacon and Bridges, that's it. Number 2, to declare any interest in any of the matters to be considered. Anybody? To identify items for which the press and the public may be excluded. To confirm the minutes of the meeting held on Wednesday the 8th of April. There's 2 pages to them. Page 1. Page 2. I have a proposal then to accept those minutes as a 2 record, please.
Yes, I propose.
Anybody second, please? All those in favour, please show. Right, approved payments. It's 10. Yeah.
Yeah, just a general question if I can.
Yeah.
Second one down, they're just various goods. Do you have an idea what they were?
I don't know.
Tell you what, rough idea, you know.
Councillor, I propose we approve these, please. Yeah. Second then? Yeah. All those in favour? To request a grant from Anston Parish Council, which will be 5,000. Payment in kind to cover the employment cost for May, which is 444681.
Move that.
Can we second it, please? Seconded, yeah. Sign. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Number 7, I've got me back.
Which one will we go through first?
First one, 7A, which is the reconciliation.
Right, sure.
Should be marked off 7A.
No problems with that.
Councillor proposed, okay?
Well, do we not just go through them?
Well, you can go through them all if you like, do them in total.
Just
Okay, we'll go through them all.
Or approve them all on
Yeah.
item 7.
Okay, receipts.
Right, can I come in on that?
Yeah.
Can I have some explanations or just quick ones? First. On item 2, hall hire and fees for office accommodation. That figure of £4,004.25.
Yeah.
Is that what the charity's getting from the council? Or the council getting from the charity?
The charity gets that from the council because the council hires this room for its meetings.
Yeah.
And then over on the right, the £2,000 is the fee for use of the office for the year.
Right, so them figures are basically for the hire of the council's hire of the hall from the charity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, the next one is Anston Preschool Hall hire. What period does that cover?
The month.
1 month. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Payments. The most expensive one was the hardware testing of the building, £530.
So can I just make a point on that? That I presume that is received for 5 years.
Yeah.
So we've not got that till,
That's 5 years.
I know it says that, but it doesn't necessarily follow. And the other one is we've got 200634 supply and fit inspection cover and make good. Can you just tell me where that is?
Yeah, that was on the football pitch.
On the football pitch, is that down at the...
That concrete one that cracked.
Right, okay, that's fine.
Right, right, 200632 service, is that new hall rather than new boiler?
Yeah, new one.
So now we have a boiler in here, that's only just been serviced, and we've now got a new boiler in
Oh,
this is an office.
But it's in the office.
Yeah, it's all right, yeah. Okay, look. So that cost there is for this one, isn't it?
yeah.
All right, no problems.
Overview of the accounts for publishing on the council's website. You've got that. It's 7D.
Yeah.
Accept those, please.
Can I just agree on that, councillor? It says an external ashtray. I'm intrigued by that. And is that something that we, is it due to the amount of
It was
cigarette ends that we get when it's...
mainly for the ladies' song, so stitch and sew. Because they do a lot of smoking outside.
Does it? All right.
A lot.
It's not that relaxing then, sorry, but
No.
it's still smoking. I just wondered if we'd had to fit it by, well, I suppose it gets rid of by that.
Get rid of all the fag ends.
I hope they use it anyway at that price.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Right, can we accept all those then, please? Somebody propose?
We're finishing that, right? We've got that one to go through.
That's the range, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah, that's the rate. Number 7. Can we accept all those, please? The accounts for March 215?
Yeah.
All those in favour, please show. Thanks. Okay. Number 8, to discuss management accounts.
Right, then.
Yeah.
Right. Just quick one, just wait a second, if you could please. Right, on the payment headings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down, it says drains at the rear of Brighton Road. Which drains are them?
It's that one that we did down there. On the grass of the...
Where it's
Flooded.
along to the back of the house, just down there.
Right.
It was ponding.
All right,
The
just
spring was coming.
No problems. Right, the administration, including grant, we've got a 3022 there, less grant required.
Could you use the microphone?
Sorry. We've got 3022, less grant required. Well, we've got a less grant, but it's quite a big figure. I don't understand what that's for.
We didn't need as much grant as we anticipated because we didn't spend as much on other things.
Right, so that's the...
That's the council giving the charity less money.
Right, yeah, I thought that's what it was, just clear it up. Right, the last question. I know we've got outstanding football fees, but that's absolutely right. So if we go right down to the bottom where it says surplus deficit for year end, that figure of 10,446, is that the surplus that the charity's got end of this year? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, surplus.
Okay.
Okay. Can you propose somebody to have those accepted? One second, all those in favour? Okay. 9. To receive the report on debtors.
I'll come in if nobody else is going to. You going to come in?
Yeah,
Right. First question is, are these debts all still outstanding?
Yeah.
Right. And that's as obviously we say today. Do we know why the football
It
club...
was as of 31st of...
Well, yeah, sorry, yeah, I understand that. Right. Do we know why they're not paying? Right. Because I'm inclined, I think over the... I mean, that's nearly 700 quid, and if we round up, it's quite a big amount of money. I think as a charity, I think we've bent over backwards to try and get this money off these football clubs. And I think we've done everything we can. I think as far as I know, Siobhan's been chasing up as well. I think we need to now look at some what I call serious consequences. And the consequences are is they need to pay up, or we should probably look at seriously stopping them from playing next year. Because we had the football season.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, that's an interesting football, I'm sorry. But if they're not paying, if they think they're going to get football free for a whole season, I think that's quite wrong, really. I mean, it's showing a disregard
Yeah,
for
well,
what we do for the community.
Old Anstonians £436. The over 35s is now, they did pay up, they paid 100 and something, didn't they? The old the over
They get an
35s.
invoice every month.
Yeah, and they paid it last month up to, but still not counting the last
Right.
200 quid.
Can we put this on the agenda for the next charity meeting?
It's on every month.
Right, because I think we need to seriously discuss what we're going to do, because I'm disappointed, because I know Siobhan has got onto these people to try and recover this money, and nothing's happening. So I think we're going to have to make a serious decision on what we're going to do. My instinct is, if they're not going to pay up, they don't play again. It's not fair to the ones that are paying up.
Well, on that basis, they're anonymous.
They're anonymous,
On
they're
that basis, they're anonymous.
No, sorry. Julie,
Thank
sorry.
you, thank
Sorry.
you. I just wanted to ask a couple of things. Sorry, I'll put it back in there. A couple of things. One is, I wondered what the history was of these groups. For instance, we're talking about this year here, but last year, did we have equal difficulty in getting the payments? Is what point I wanted to ask. I mean, do they have a history of bad debt, if you like? And the second thing was, I was wondering whether, or I wondered what was the last contact. Is the contact that Siobhan has had the last contact we've had with them? Did she send them a letter, something like that?
Yes, a couple of weeks ago. She's been in constant discussion with the over 35s, I know for a fact.
She's all in discussion with them. So
Yeah.
what's their what are they saying
We'll
about?
pay you on Monday.
It's one of those, is it?
That's the last thing I got from him.
We'll pay you on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about the others?
I don't know who the
I mean, what are they actually saying to us? They're saying we've got the money, just hang on a couple of weeks, or we've not got the money, or what?
Little Messel is essentially up to date apart from the bond.
Right.
Yeah, they're anonymous at the present.
The bond.
bond.
Right. So I just wondered, you know,
It's just a matter of chasing them up.
yes, I was just wondering whether they're saying, you know, we've got the money, just give us a week or two, or they're saying we actually haven't got the money.
Well, I say we've got the bonds, so
Can I just come in there? I spent ages last year trying to get a policy sorted out for the hire of this pitch, which I put in front of the council, and everybody that was here shouldn't know about it or signed up to it. And we asked for this £100 bond, and they've not been very forthcoming. Fair to Clark and Siobhan, they've chased them, we kept giving them deadlines to pay. As far as I'm aware, the little master were they the only ones to pay the £100 bond? Michael? They were the first.
They did, and then they deducted it from the next bill.
From the next bill, yeah. So they're still tinkering at it around the edges. I think we need, as Stuart said, we need to set we need to have this on the charity in June. If we don't get paid by that date, then I suggest that we pursue, well, we need this money off them, but it's no pay, no play as far as I'm concerned, because it's not, if other teams in the area are wanting to use it and they can't get on because we've got 4 teams on that are blocking on a Saturday and Sunday, then it's not fair. I might speak to teams that might not want to play up at Greenwich because it's here, that might want to play down here. So we've either got the cup, you know, we can't keep incurring losses every year. We either stop teams playing and we don't pay as much RBC for maintaining the ground, or we get teams that are willing to pay and will pay that bond, and they'll be fair with us. But at this moment in time, it seems to be one-way traffic. I know you've tried about the other 30 times, I've tried. And Little Mess started there being more forthcoming than any of the others. But I say Siobhan's had a really big problem trying to chase them down. It's not fair.
I think that over 35s, they had a problem with they lost the manager, and when I say they lost him, they finished with them. The manager finished, and the captain went as well. It was left to one chap who was trying to run it, and he was collecting the money, and he was sending it when he got some. Because I mean, it was likely very reluctant to pay up, to play and not pay.
It might be useful to point out how many years these debts have been outstanding.
And I'll have to ignore, afraid, what you're saying.
Yeah, it's all right saying, you know, the manager left, the captain left.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
their,
giving you
yeah, that's how we said, but that's their internal politics.
Yes, I'm just giving you background as to
At the end of
why
the day,
they're doing it.
all in-
And I agree with Clive.
yeah.
I agree with Clive completely, and I think it should go on the next agenda, and in fact, tell them that no pay, no play.
Historically, there was no problem with the football teams paying, so it's not a long outstanding issue. Because previously they were charged £100 a year or whatever and they paid up. It was only when the charity changed to the per match system, £40 or whatever it is, that's when the problems with the payments started.
Because we're trying to get it level with the charges that were made by Rotherham, both by the borough.
Can I just ask, does the council give them grants? One or two teams have asked for grants, haven't they?
Did you have this last year?
No.
This is before. But if we were giving them grants, effectively subsidising that £100, that you pass it straight back to us as a bond. If you did it that way, it would not sound extra.
So we put it on the next...
Yeah, I think we need to discuss it, and it would be nice if we can get... I'd like to actually meet representatives of the football teams, because some of them have asked me about changing facilities on the ground, and I said, well, we will look at that if it's only temporary things before we get hopefully the other work done. But there's no point, entering into any discussions if they're not going to pay what they owe us.
It's not worth us putting that in,
is it? So maybe we can arrange to meet representatives from the teams and try and sort this out.
Well, I said, I can have a word with the chap I know, and I'll tell him that they won't be playing next season unless he pays, if that's what the charity comes up with.
Don't tell him he won't be playing next year, because we haven't made that decision.
No, I said,
We've
I said if it's up to the charity, but for them to decide.
You can convey a message, but don't tell him
No,
something we haven't decided.
no. It's not been decided, we can put this up for discussion.
We keep chasing them
Yeah,
during the off period and then turn up on match on the first day of football, and if they haven't paid, they don't play.
Well, they haven't paid, we can quite like that, we just don't put the goalposts
So
up.
put posts up.
Don't
That's
put the
easy.
posts up, that's
Yeah,
the
but you've
story,
got
isn't
to
it?
put posts up before we pay, so haven't we?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and then you get everybody playing on it as and when. If you can't control it, that's the problem. So I think we need to give them a date by, say, the 30th of June to have this paid, otherwise they won't be considered next season.
No. Okay, all those in favour of that? Is that on the record number? Right. To receive an update on the building valuation for insurance purposes and approve the course of action. No development.
That's still being progressed.
Still be a programme.
So we're still waiting for quotes, is that what's happening?
Yeah.
To approve the renewal of insurance as recommended by the broker or the recommendation.
No, the recommendation
We'll come with that.
We need to approve what the broker will recommend.
Yeah.
That's what that's for.
We do have to approve that now.
Can we just go?
I can approve
Yeah.
the broker recommends when we don't know what it is.
I've already met with the broker once. We've had any changes, material changes since last year. He's now gone away. They're going to do a full market search as they do every year, and then in the next couple of weeks he'll come back with the price. But the thing is that it's a very short time span because we need to review on the 1st of June, and so really what I'm asking the charity to do is to approve whatever he recommends as the insurer for the next 12 months.
Have they been all right in the past? Have they not?
We've been using them for about 8 years, I believe. And during that time, we changed the insurance company back 3 or 4 times.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm not happy to approve something that we don't even know nothing about. I know what you're saying, I understand why you're saying it. When's the next meeting? So,
It's not a charity.
The charity won't be in touch with the insurance.
The insurance that we do.
But I mean,
can you decide, right, when's the next council meeting? That'll be on the 20-some,
18th.
18th of May. Could we not have a short charity meeting prior to that meeting to approve that issue? I'll
It depends whether we've got a quote by then. We may not have a quote by then. That's the danger.
trying to work through it, because I'm not happy to approve the insurance if we don't have a quote. I'm not for doing that at all.
Well, last year the
Everybody else wants
insurance
to do that.
charity and council combined was say 17,000. 17,700 or 18,000. But he will have gone away, done a full market sweep and just got various quotes on various people.
Right, can we, so we can get another way around it. Can we approve the quote subject, I think carefully, subject to you emailing the quote to everybody, and if any person has got an objection, then we're going to have to call the next Rotary meeting. Could we do it that way?
Essentially what we're saying is relying on the expertise of the broker to give us the best
That's the
price.
point.
The
Well,
best
can't
price.
It's a broker.
Can't we say that what would be an acceptable increase in percentage-wise? If we stop through than that, it's okay. I mean, what would we be happy with 10%?
I can send the figure around. It's not a problem.
I'm just trying to work a way around it. I know why you want us to approve it, but as I said, I'm not happy to approve something I've not seen. So I'm just trying to think of a way we can do it without.
Well, approved subject to actual figure being emailed to all members and no objections being received.
I'm alright with that.
And then gets us out of that line and does it not
Yeah.
meeting.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I think that's a good suggestion. I'm just wondering what would happen is to approve the, if we didn't approve the renewal of the insurance, and the insurance is the end result of that. What I think it is the insurance doesn't get renewed, and then what?
That's a situation you cannot find yourself in.
You can't
You
be in
can't be in that position.
You can't let that happen.
At some stage,
Yeah.
we're going to have to.
What would happen is,
Don't take somebody to fall down outside and that's it.
if one councillor objected for whatever reason, well, as you say, the situation would become we're probably not insured, but then we would have to have an extraordinary meeting in order to resolve the problem.
But it's a broker, Stuart. A broker will get you the best price.
Are you going to accept that we
Yeah,
get that figure, and if there's no objection to it, it proceeds?
Subject to it go around.
Subject to it go around everybody.
So it's approved subject to actual figure being emailed to all members and if no objections received, then proceed.
All in favour of that?
Just for clarity, can you add what it's been for this year so we can see if there's any
Yeah.
big marks, but then, you know, whatever, it gives us a guideline.
Yeah.
Now,
All those in favour then, please show.
I support
Okay, that's passed. Nothing for 12, nothing for 13. The 12 is resolved to exclude the question. Oh, that's later, yeah.
that. It's a later issue.
Right. It's on the old one there. Where is it, this one?
We've removed the boiler.
The boiler backed up, yeah.
So the boiler is now in the office.
Yeah.
So the cellar isn't heated anymore.
Right, okay. Okay, this has been added to the agenda. To consider and approve the fitting of the radiator in this, that was in the cellar, £406.80. It's now in the office, isn't it?
That's to put a radiator in the
Is
cellar.
it? Yeah.
Because the boiler is now in
Yeah,
the office.
Okay, that's just to put up a radiator in the cellar. Because the boiler is now in the office. The old boiler was in the
So
cellar.
What it means is there's no heat in the cellar, there's no
No, that's all.
ventilator, but it needs some
Needs
heat
something
as
to
well.
it down.
So, and I spoke to Clark about it, and I think the quote is from the same company that's installed the boiler and everything else, so it's all under one contract at the end of the day. So if anything goes wrong, you know,
Yeah, you're covered.
dealing with two people, we're dealing with one person, so it should all be covered. So it needs to restore anyway, but it's an ongoing problem with the cellar, to keep it dry.
Right, I was going to query, I'm looking at the track, do we actually need it? Because bearing in mind, as you're aware, we've got preliminary plans for hopefully doing something with that area. How long that's going to take, I don't know. I'm wondering is, can we get away with it until then plans are more advanced?
it's already beginning to smell quite musty.
It's the smell, that's the problem.
The records will stay.
Right,
I don't really think
What
we
I
can
say
go
is
the way we need to do it.
well, just to follow up with that, the reason why we're talking about is, in the cellar, we have to have a pump, a water pump, because we think there's a spring in that corner somewhere, we don't know what's causing it. We've got some plans, and we're looking at revamping the parish hall some time in the future, subject to grants. And that corner where the springs are has been discussed quite extensively. From what you're saying, then I'm going to go with
Can
you.
I just come in and explain something?
No, I'm sorry.
You need plenty of fresh air in there, or else you will
Sorry.
start getting
Hillary,
mycelium.
okay, Hillary. Are you all happy that we go ahead with the radiator?
I'll
Yeah.
go with it. 'Cause I
There
think-
is some ventilation, isn't it? So I'll check that with Mark. So it is vented, but it wants some heat in there to stop anything building
Good.
up. So
You like that one?
I don't really think we've got any options.
Joe, all in favour, please show.
Okay.
That's it then.
Excuse me, Chairman, at a previous meeting, I queried the £8,000 that was still emitted to this parish council. You said you would bring it forward, you wouldn't take it at that meeting, you would bring it forward to this charity meeting. We've had great discussions about the football, but we've not heard about the allotments and the playgroup, or this £8,000 that's outstanding.
Yeah. No, we picked up on that, so that's it.
Well,
Oh, this, that Mrs. Rodriguez, it's not on the agenda anyway.
Why?
So,
You said it was going to be.
but it isn't.
Well, I know it isn't, I
So,
can see
date
that.
and time, the next
just
meeting.
wait, right, first one is the allotments one is actually a charity thing, is a council.
Well, I was told it would be brought up at the charity meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it hasn't been.
The allotments is a council issue which we can't put on this agenda. Now, the preschool one,
Yeah, about school.
School.
You're on about the money that was owned by the school, because they've got
Mr. Stade mentioned the allotments as well.
which is not.
Well, I'm just explaining that the allotments we can't discuss in this meeting.
Yeah.
We are aware of the school debt.
I know.
And from a personal point of view, I intend to put it on the agenda in the new council
And are you
to have
putting
further
the
discussions.
debts from the allotments on the new agenda?
The debts for the allotments
Yeah,
are on the finance meeting if it goes ahead tonight.
right, okay. So will that, right, okay, fine, thank you.
Right, the trade meeting
So
closed.
I thought it was on the-
Those allotment that's may well be settled by now,
Which probably good.
because the bills have run out.
You've had the proper invoice, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I just ask you, you said meetings closed, what happened to number 12 or 12A to result at school? My apologies. I thought there was something on the agenda and it's not. My apologies.
So, next meeting, 3rd of June. Thank you very much for your attendance. So, finance meeting. Right, finance meeting, we are quorate, we need a chairman.
Sure.
No, someone else can have a look at it. Go on, somebody else have a look.
Have we got it? We've got enough.
You got enough? You got 5.
4.
Mr. Chair?
Nothing to fear in the chair, only the public.
Well, they keep saying I'm on the finance committee, so I don't
Let's
think
not,
Chair.
that's true, actually. There's nothing to fear in the chair, only the
Yeah.
public.
Councillor Jackson, do it? Councillor Jones?
Sorry?
Are you going to, would you be willing to chair?
I don't know.
Is there anything
I just don't know.
vitally urgent about this? Is it just payments?
It's a very short agenda.
So, can I ask you then, John? In the past meetings we've had, when I've sat down this table, you have turned around and asked me to leave, and I've refused. And then you've gone ahead and you've opened the meeting and you've done the checks and payments and you've closed the meeting.
Yeah.
So why won't you do it tonight?
Because I wasn't the chairman. If you want to be the chairman, I'll be the chairman and we'll proceed and do what we should do anyway.
I'm just getting puzzled why you don't want any other night we've done it. You've always wanted to chair it when nobody else is here.
Well, tonight, I just didn't want to do it. That's all. But
So
I'll
it is.
do it.
I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm not forcing it.
I propose Councillor Ireland if we carry on chairing.
Seconded.
Right, same apologies as the last meeting. I declare the meeting open. To declare any interest in any matters to be considered, anybody? Okay. To identify items for which the press and public may be excluded? To confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 20th of April. 2 pages. Page 1. Yes, Joe.
I just wanted to ask, and Councillor Thornton has just pointed it out, that normally we would be expecting to ask Councillor Thornton to leave the table. Will you be discussing that, or
Well,
is this an...
it's not worth going through the motions. I'll just pretend he's not here and just don't let him make any contribution. I'll just not let him make any contribution. That's it.
So at other meetings, when you wanted to prove a point, it was so important that I leave the table. But now,
But Stuart, you've
now
got
we have
so
got
much
to
arguing
wait
about
about
it. I'm not in a mood to argue about it, so I'm just going to ignore you.
so what
Right,
you're doing is
we're gonna-
by allowing me to sit at this table, that means you're allowing me to participate
No,
in this
I'm
meeting.
not.
No, I'm gonna.
Item
And
number,
if you ignore me,
page number
I
1.
will insist that be heard.
Page number 1. Oh, page number 2. Right, can I sign those? Yes, proposal, please. Second, please. Go on. You second them?
Oh,
Second the minutes.
yes.
Okay. All those in favour, please show. Sign this. To consider and approve a grant to the charity. 5,000 plus 4,446.81. A proposal, please. Second. All those in favour? You realise that we've got 4, there's only 4 of us. 3, that's all right.
Chair, meeting, don't you know this more?
Yeah. To approve payments and sign cheques, approve grants, rehaul hire, if any. Cheques first. Right, that's right. Remuneration, customs and excise, South Yorkshire Pensions Authority, and all the rest are motor vehicle services at 400, state office supplies 300, Bride Limited, ramp clamps for van and compound.
I just ask what?
That intrigues us to hear about ramp
We've had
clamps.
some ramp clamps made so that we can keep the ramps on the van, well, during the day so they don't get stolen.
All right,
The ones in
Britain are the metalworking, let's go
Yeah.
around it, so they've made us some.
the ones in the compound so that they can be stored in the compound to reduce manual handling so they don't have to be squeezed back into the
And
cabin.
it also makes them more secure away from okay, that's fine. And just the other one, going back to it says motor vehicle services, it is that and van sales abbreviation.
Yes,
That's a company where we've actually,
that's the one at the junction of the M1, 857 M1 junction.
oh, I know,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
There's
that's
MBS.
no, that's fine.
Right, can we have a proposal, please? Seconded. Right, seconded. Right. All those in favour, please show.
Can I just ask a question?
No, I'm sorry.
On the DWP earnings attachment, £74, what's that?
No, Stuart, I just can't take any questions from you.
Well,
So all those in favour,
just
please
a
show.
minute, just a minute.
Stuart, you're not a member of this committee, and rather than argue with you and not turn you out, I'm just going to pretend you're not sitting there.
So when Stephen used to sit here, who also wasn't
Stephen
a
was
member-
entitled to sit here because he was invited. You've been barred from these committees by this council.
No, Stephen was not a member of
If
this
you chuck
committee.
him off, you haven't got a quorum.
Right. Stephen wasn't a member of this committee. You allowed
You
him
know
to
what
sit
you're talking
up.
about, because the quorum for this meeting is 3.
Don't shout at the public.
Right.
It's not becoming...
It's 3.
Don't shout at
It's
the
not
public.
5, it's 3.
Right, when Stephen used to sit around this table, he wasn't
Right.
on the
All those
committee.
in favour of...
You allowed him to speak.
All those in favour of...
So you're discriminating against me again.
Yes, all those in favour of
And
this
I've
change, please
got a
sign.
mission on camera.
You're rubbish.
Please
Absolute
sign.
rubbish.
Please sign. Signal.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Well, answer the question because you don't know what the question was.
It wasn't a question to you anyway, Stuart. To approve the accounts for March 2015, bank reconciliation.
I'd like to ask a question on that as well. I was elected by the public to represent them, so I
And you've been refused by the full council not to be on
That's
board.
representative than any other lot.
But why do you think, Chair, that you have a right to discriminate against councillors? Why do you think you have a right to choose, pick and choose who you think is eligible to speak and who's not?
I'm only acting on behalf of the council.
No, you're discriminating because you've allowed other councillors who are not on this committee to sit, take part and vote in meetings.
If I could speak through the chair.
Bank reconciliation.
Right, I'd like to ask a question,
You're
please.
not, Stuart, I'm ignoring you. I'm afraid that you
Right, so you're
should.
discriminating against me?
Yes, that's it.
That's twice you said on camera. you
Right, bank
discriminate.
reconciliation, please.
I'd like to ask a
You've got
question.
to remember, Stuart, that you're on camera as well as me.
Oh, I'm quite aware
And
I'm
you
on
are
camera.
acting against the rules.
No,
And I'm not.
right.
I'm working within the rules.
These are the
Can I
rules
say-
you make
can I
as you
speak
go
through
along.
the chair, please?
Bank reconciliation. All those in favour of accepting them?
Can I just ask a question? The figure there that we've got a balance, is that the sort of figure that we should, I know there's sort of like prescribed amounts out there for how much we should have in reserves and stuff like that. Does that figure now meet the criteria? I know we've not had the new grant from Rotherham as yet, the preset one is not.
This is
not come through.
31st of March.
That's 31st of March, so it's still waiting for that. So that will change anyway, won't it? Yeah, that's okay. I just wondered, I know there are certain figures that you should, they don't like to carry too much.
I just wanted to say,
If you had more than twice precept, then they would possibly ask you why.
Why? I know
So you have to
there
have
is,
more than £500,000 for the
Right.
auditor to ask why. because
and there isn't a bottom figure to that.
Obviously, you've got to have enough to cover
Cover
your
you, yeah.
working costs, your cash flow.
I knew there was one for the top figure that they didn't like to have stuck in your
Yeah.
account. Well, I know one locally, that's a lot, but
Joe?
no, that's fine.
Joe?
thank you. Yes, I just wanted, I thought it might be useful to put on record in terms of Councillor Thornton is saying he's discriminated against, but it was the democratic decision of this council to ask to remove him from this council because of his behaviour, and that behaviour was actually slapping a member of the public.
No, it wasn't. Don't make it up. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It went to the standards board. It went to the
It has got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
And it was the democratic decision of this council.
It wasn't.
Now, can I ask a question? Who's causing all the problems now?
So for the record, that was why Councillor Thornton was asked not to sit at the Finance and General Purposes.
For the record, it was
Well, let me
not.
have the right of reply then. The reason the Standards Committee came to that decision
You don't sit
was
here.
based on the rise
Right.
of free Labour councillors.
Yes,
And I'll
that's
repeat
right.
that in case you didn't hear it. It was the judgment of the Standards Committee was based on the lies of 3 Labour
No,
candidates.
I believe your case went through the courts, Councillor Thornton.
There was no court case.
No, it didn't.
So now you're lying, you see, because there was no court case.
It went through the
It did not go through the
You
court.
seem to know more than I am.
Councillor Thornton, you were bound to...
Right, that's enough. Otherwise, I'm going to close the meeting. Please, will you all be quiet? Will you let us get on with the business? Let us get on with
And I
the
would
business.
suggest, Councillor Burton,
Yes,
that if you
please.
insist on
Very
peddling lies in
careful.
public,
Very
you maybe
careful.
need to start consulting your solicitor.
Yes,
I will not
indeed.
accept
Yes,
you
indeed.
peddling lies about me around this village.
Yes,
Joe, it's
indeed.
okay.
Takes your choice, but it'll cost you money.
Right, okay.
Well,
Right,
she's got no
where to?
reputation to say nothing what she was involved in.
Right, have we approved, yes, we've approved the reconciliation. Right, next one is the receipts.
Let's talk about democracy. This council made a democratic decision to ask Councillor Dalton to step down from being vice chair. Councillor Dalton decided she would ignore the ruling of the council. I didn't hear you speak up then. What could you explain why
Right,
you
receipt
didn't speak up?
schedule, burial fees, allotment payment, photocopying, untaxed interest, and RMBC refund re-council surgery. That's the figures, you've got them. Any comments?
Yeah, can I just make one? I'm
Yeah.
glad we've actually, the last one, the RMBC refund with cancer surgeries, I'm glad we've actually got that back. Do you know how far that was, Mike? Just for the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, can we approve of, please? All those in favour? Payments. Payment schedule, 7C. Right, the road lines? Road, you've got a
the grants to the Friends Burial Ground. Why have we gone over the £100?
What took?
Well, we usually give £100 for grants for local.
It was insurance, I think.
No, it says a grand.
Well, we paid it for it, haven't
It must be down as insurance then, surely.
No, it was a grant to the Friends of the Burial group to pay their insurance.
Right.
Can I ask you a question about padlocks and chains?
we? All those, would you like to-
Just because you ignore them, it doesn't mean I go away, you know.
all those,
Very childish.
can you, anybody propose these?
Right, I want to ask why we're asking a contractor to supply and fit a chain and a padlock.
Jordan, you?
Who would have thought our workers would be able to do that themselves?
Yeah.
I don't go away, you know.
New Zealand allotments, £120 for water on the quarter that we don't use water.
When's that?
1, 2, 3, 4, number 6. Number 6.
Only the allotment holders can answer that.
Yeah. No idea, Gordon. It's on a meter, so.
Would that be for a quarter or for the year?
Let's find out for you, Gordon.
No,
Yes?
Yeah, this is what 509335 flight ticket. Do we know what actual stuff was taken off?
Just rubble, I think.
Just rubbish.
Something that was disposed of at the recycling centre. Is it something that we have to take?
Well, it was a skip, full skip.
So it can't go down there anyway.
Can I ask how much the skip costs? Because that seems
It wasn't
awfully
a skip,
cheap.
it was a skip load.
Right, so did we get charged for the skip or for the work? Because
Right.
it's a skip
Right,
load.
everybody
It's about the size of the load.
propose that we accept
I
these.
won't go away, John, if you just keep ignoring it. You discriminate against me every time you do it.
Go on.
And you've already admitted twice on camera you discriminate.
Just got another, just got another one. That sentry box, a flam valve, the petrol storage, I think that's, is that
Put Jerry County.
right, it's an actual secure. Right, okay, that's fine.
Right,
Does
so
that go in the garaging area? Or is it?
It's located somewhere.
Located somewhere.
I think it might be in that building.
Right, okay, that's fine.
Right, can I have a proposal, please?
You didn't answer the question, then, did you? It's not very good, John. I won't go away just because you're ignoring me.
Can I have a proposal? 5 proposed. Anybody second? All those in favour, please show. Right, thanks. That's the payments. Overview of the accounts for publishing on the website. That's FD. F7D. You're proposing that?
Yes.
Right. I'm going to second that. Well, I'll second it. All those in favour? To discuss management accounts.
I'd like to ask a question, Chair. My question is this. On the expenditure, i.e. what we spend, why is nearly every item heading that we have here overspent?
Anybody else comment?
I think it's a fair question, don't you? I'm not going away, John, if you just ignore it.
All right with you, Tom? Are you all right with you? Joe? You okay? Yeah.
Well, you see, I'm a democratically elected councillor, I'm asking you a question, John, and you're not answering it.
Can I have a proposal and a second?
Yeah.
Can I just not Councillor Thompson's asked that question about.
Excuse me, Clive, could you speak
Sorry.
into that,
Yeah, I
please?
apologise.
It doesn't work if it's not near.
We're over because that's where we are.
That's why the explanation.
That's why the explanations are there for the increased expenditure. The one about which says parish all actors, well, that's a separate. That was money set aside anyway under the charity fund, so that's covered.
So that shouldn't be there.
Well, I'm sure it's taken up in the other bit. It's like we're on a Hillcrest, 5 over frame, remove a tree, well, they're over what we've already spent. So, as I said, it's likely to be the reasons there, and certainly the drainage survey for the recreation ground was an unknown. And I presume that's, well, they're all the way down there, so that's the explanations that we've got. I mean, I'm happy with those, that they actually all are listed, so we're still under expenditure from that figure.
10,000.
Yes.
You second those then?
Right.
Yes.
We're under expenditure, we have a surplus, but what you've got to take into account is there's figures in there that are arrears from last year. That's why these figures are bumped up. So, Chair, how much surplus or deficiency have we got this year?
To receive the report on debtors.
Well, I'll tell you anyway, because you ignore it. I don't go away, John, with ignoring it. £10,482.
Right, you've got the list of the council
Because
debtors.
I don't believe you know that figure.
And you say that these have been sorted out now, Gordon, because the invoices have been sent out.
They probably are, I don't know for
Well,
sure.
so we should, they should in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
So
Right, Chair, would you like to explain to the public why these debts were not paid?
Yes.
Do you know why they wasn't paid?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so would you like to tell people?
No.
Why not?
Right.
We need to know it's
He
our
doesn't
money.
know. He doesn't know.
Well, would you like to know who the debtors are?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a case of who the debtor
I'd
is.
like to know what the
Why?
figure is.
It's why.
Yeah,
Why?
£56.
I'd like to know what the
It's
cumulative
£56.
figure is of all the debts.
56.
£8,000.
£56. We're talking about the council debtors.
£8,000.
Council debtors.
And why is it
He won't tell you why, because he doesn't know.
£56.
And why is it being allowed to approve?
Could I ask through the chair that we make progress and that also that we ask Councillor
Like
Thornton
Councillor
to stop
Simpson.
being so rude?
It's not being rude.
And this from a council, do you be declared not fit for purpose?
When you're fit for purpose, you can come and start sprouting
Yes,
integrity.
indeed, absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
It's a shame if I was rude to show my face.
I'm quite happy to have a go. Come on.
I'm not having a go at you. I wanted to speak to the chair.
Feel free.
Yeah. Right, Joe.
No, that's all right, carry on.
Thank you. To appoint 2 members to carry out the internal audit of the March accounts.
Yeah, I've got the sign checks.
Right, have someone to help you.
I'll help.
Don't need to do it.
You know very well you can't, Stuart.
Oh, just let them monitor it. I seem to know more about
To
finance.
approve renewal of insurance, I recommend date about what we've done there. We're waiting for the broker to come back, that we've already dealt with in the...
Evaluation is the same as the charity.
Yeah.
Number 12 is the insurance. If you want to pass the same resolution.
Yeah, the same resolution for this one as we did before. All those in favour, please show. To resolve to adjourn the meeting in order to allow the public to raise any issues regarding today's meeting. Yeah.
Thank you. Regarding explanations over expenditure, which the parish councillors have had in front of them, the public should have these figures. After all, it is our money, right, that you're mismanaging, and the public should have the figures. And I would make a strong appeal to the new parish council that these figures be provided to the public, and I repeat, because it is our money.
Well, when the new council's in position, in place, Hilary, you can probably ask them that then, and that'll be after next week.
Can I just ask a question, Michael? These are the figures that, the debts that are owing, are the figures confidential?
Well, it shouldn't be, it's our money.
You would have thought so. You wouldn't have thought so. So if it won't be a problem if I tell them, if the member of the public comes to me and asks me what the figure is, the debts that are owed, that won't be a problem to tell them.
Excuse me, but I think it needs printing for the public to see, and I think it needs discussing and bringing out at a parish council meeting, so that everybody knows.
I agree, like I said earlier on, I intend to put it on the agenda because
Right, any
I
further?
have some strong feelings of the way things have been done in the past.
It's not, it's
Mrs. Sadler.
been the way and it no longer should be.
Mrs. Sadler, please.
The insurance that's under discussion,
Yeah.
when does it actually run out?
1st of June.
So it's not
So we're just relying on the people coming back to us, really.
right, but it's not going to run out next week, so
Oh, no,
you've got
no.
some time.
No, this is why we can afford to wait, but we want to be able to proceed if everything's okay. And the clerk said he will get in touch with all the council members.
How long does it take a broker to come back with a price?
Well,
Half a day.
I'll be straight out.
The problem we had is, the problem with insurance is
Right.
not so much with the council.
Right.
Excuse me, I'd like to listen to
Well,
what
Stuart-
my councillor
Stuart
has
can
to
talk
say.
you in private afterwards,
I want
but
to
not
know
on
what he
the-
has to
Right,
say.
The problem we have is not so much with the council.
Could you speak into the mic, please?
The problem we have is not so much
Can I
with the
have
council.
your next point?
Because we had several meetings before the insurance comes
Right,
out.
I'll close the
The
meeting.
problem we had earlier on was
Meet
with the
again on the
charity.
third.
Insurance comes out before the
My question basically is just in follow to that lady's. I worked in insurance for 25 years. Why can't the broker get you that quote before the 18th of May so that you've got those facts and figures so that they can be put before it expires?
Yes.
Because most insurance companies,
Yes.
I've worked for 3, will tell you, they will send you that quote at the last minute, quite simply, because you haven't got an option to move.
Right.
So surely it would be advisable whoever chases up the quotes to get them for the 18th as a maximum so that they can actually be put to.
How many other brokers have you approached, Michael?
Yeah, as soon as possible.
How many other brokers, please? Have you just approached the one?
We've got one that we've given out. We're using the same fellow that we used for probably 8 years.
So you don't get a competitive quote
No, it's
every
a broker's
year?
job to get you competitive quotes, isn't
It-
it?
No, I've never found it with any insurance I've taken
A
out.
broker gets you the best possible deal you can get.
For him, that doesn't stop you going to another broker,
Okay, well, next meeting.
so you don't get a competitive quote. Is that correct?
Yeah, the meeting's still on there.
the last meeting of the old council.
No,
Are you distributing,
I'll do that.
are you distributing the leaflets for the borough now, John? Or giving us your manifesto?
Is it different for a quote for a place like this? As it is for a house?
Yes, it's commercial, and it includes liability, and it's liability.
So it would take longer to so why is he not
I mean,
getting
when
an
I-
immediate reply?
I would have to wait through the insurance. Someone said to me, I want to put forward. Then there was liability.
So why is he not getting, sitting down, like I do, and ringing out the phone? So when I ring up Swindon Insurance and give me a quote, and I say, oh, I've had a cheaper one than that, Swinton's a broker.
Technically, the complication you've got is with the total independent broker or a tie broker. Swinton used to be a tie broker, which means they can only recommend from
Right, so are they a tie broker?
I don't know at the moment time, we're an insurance broker, but that's how it used to work.
Right.
Some brokers will recommend certain, so for example, Aviva, but they could recommend, say, the brokers through all their brokers. Because some insurance companies
You
don't
ring
get
other
brokers.
brokers, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm
When I
saying.
ring when I get insurance.
Well, you can't go and compare the market, that kind of thing, but that's basically what brokers is like, go compare, they just put the information into the company to give you a I mean, if you get as big as what it is, I'll get you a quote in time.
Don't somebody's quoted you. So they've not been getting any other quotes, it's just getting the same one in, it tells you this is customer.
I can't believe they don't want to see us.
There's something at the bottom of it. There's always a reason, isn't there? It's usually finance or tidiness. Can't be bothered to get you the quote. It's easier just to...
I mean, the thing is, like, there was a law passed, I can't remember, you were having by law 30 days, but there was a law.
Yes.
They give you time to please their
Yes.
and they own it. And I think it was even guilty. I used to send them out 14 days before it. And it gives people 14 days. The law is not because what happens is you can run out of interest and technically someone in there.
You can't afford to be without insurance. Nobody can.
You don't want your own insurance, say
It's standard these days to ring the funeral. Oh, Stuart. Oh, well, actually, that is quite legitimate because they did pass a resolution. No, well, yes, Colin, but sticking to the rules, they did pass a resolution that Stuart was being tripped off the finance council. Oh, well, it was politics, really. They did gang up on him, to be fair. But the end result was that he is not.
So why can't somebody else ask his question?
Well, maybe with an axe to grind. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
It seems weird that these people are in place. I mean, I have to answer for my work every day.
Yes. Stuart has been their only opposition for years. And so and like stones, you know, don't act like grown people.
No. Someday.
They have a go at him and they all gang up together and say, oh, what's getting on?
If you're wasting a book, I could think of something. It's lost to business,
Well, there's been a vote of no confidence. Not fit for purpose. We got to. No. Will you be any good on the finance?
Well, that's where I'm working. I work in finance.
Right, so you would be good for the finance, because the accounts, maybe that's the thing.
I have to balance it per day.
Have you seen the accounts when they come out? You'd cry with them.
I changed that.
Oh, I used to do that years ago. You don't know why they're not paying this. Well, it's a bit awkward trying to get those again. Well, they'll all run away. We'll send you then.
What do you join? I'm glad you're putting in now because very good. Please. No, seriously.
I should wait and see, John.
You have.
Well,
That's right. Why is it? Out of Southampton.
it's a sign of the times. People are busy. People have got their house to live. People are holding down the job, looking after children. Then they've got the time to come and do it. I've always done it. Yeah, but they don't want to be involved. That's why people don't go, because they can't be brought up. Why those on greenbelts can't be bothered. I've done a lot of canvassing against building on greenbelts, and what people said to me, I didn't know you were building on greenbelts. What's happening? Well, I won't tell them that you voted to build on the greenbelt, John. I'll keep that quiet. Yeah, but you've got to be careful what you said, John, because people in glass houses don't chew stones.
No, he's anyway. What's it?
Possibility that it could be
Yeah.
it's been done. We've got to feel that it could well, this is the problem. We don't know which way the jump of Yeah, do you know how I've got them? Do you know how I've got them? I've gone out, knocked on doors, and I'm quite annoyed that other people have not done the same thing. Oh, this amazing. I went to this woman on that street, and I gave her my spiel, like a big old, and she said, no, I can't. So she said, oh, you didn't say anything. You could still do it. So she said, Ian St. Johnson. Who are you? Oh, his name's so-and-so. So I said, oh, I'm sorry. Do you know who he is now? So I said, yes. Oh, no. So I said,
I think I'm going.
Are you?
I'm going. Unless you want me to. No, it's going to be someone nothing, so there you go.
Yes.
Come in.
Is it safe to turn it off? I always leave it in case somebody bashes somebody.